Boruto and his classmates going on a field trip trying to catch a fish. I know some people are not going to be about this episode, but by the end of the ep, I actually kind of enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. They kind of spun it in a very heartwarming way. And also, this episode did kind of raise a couple of questions, and different characters got some character development along the way. For starters, Sumire pulling out the Nue power. I know a lot of you guys probably forgot about her, but she was a beast when she was fighting Mitsuki, particularly because she had the backing of this big giant beast that fed off of other people's chakra, right? Now, here's the thing. She summons Nue, and it's no longer this big giant beast. It's actually this little miniaturized creature. And yeah, it wasn't like, oh my god, like she summoned the Nue, but guess what, man? I'm glad we actually saw it. And I mean, what did you expect her to do? You expected her to pull out this big giant beast when they're trying to catch a fish? I mean, like, what would the Nue beast do? The Nue beast would literally jump into that river, just snatch that fish and eat it himself. Like, he wouldn't even bother try to help Boruto and the classmates catch this thing. All we know is that she retained a piece of the Nue's essence, although of course it was sealed within her left palm. So I think it was pretty obvious eventually it'd be summoned. It was like a little bit random though, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect them to drop this on us this week when we go and try and catch a fish. Apparently she is now set on becoming a shinobi, and all I gotta say to that is, let's see what they do with her character. It's still a very big wild card, and I don't know, man. Can we trust Studio Pierrot to develop Sumire in an actual decent way? That's gonna be hard to tell, especially since, you know, it's not every day that we're gonna be seeing Sumire on the screen. It's like you gotta split the time between Boruto and Sarada, and it's still mostly gonna be Boruto. So are we going to have enough time for Sumire and some of the other characters? I really hope they don't get shifted out. I also feel like Sarada got some development in this episode. They constantly stress like friendships and, you know, what is a friendship? And this is something a lot of us think about. I mean, I think about this all the time. I evaluate my friendships all the time. I think to myself, like, if we were in a certain situation, would I, you know, sacrifice myself to save that friend, because isn't that what a friend's supposed to do? I know I just ran that one off the deep end, but the beginning of the episode, we got Boruto just being annoying, right? And, you know, one thing that we could see throughout this series so far is that the more Boruto and Sarada have interactions with each other, the more Sarada starts to, like, think about Boruto. And it's these thoughts that eventually are going to form into different kinds of thoughts. And I believe that's the romantic interest, and that's eventually going to happen probably down the line. I don't know if it'll be this year or next year. Definitely not this year, since this year is coming to an end. But nonetheless, Boruto's just being an ass, okay? And he says something along the lines of, friendships are forever, though, to basically justify all of his actions. And Sarada basically responds, I think you might be the only one who thinks like that. Throughout this episode, she's constantly thinking about that, even though she forgets sometimes as Boruto's breaking the rod or Chocho says something stupid. And that's just the overall theme of this episode is, you know, after they graduate, they're all going their separate ways. This is something Boruto brought up. So that's the theme of this episode, ultimately, is just like this big event, this camping trip, this memory that they could keep for the rest of their lives so that they could remember each other and have reference. But if anything, this is foreshadowing to me, honestly, that a lot of these people are just going to end up as buddies, acquaintances. Sarada is right in the sense that, like, yeah, you're the only one who thinks like that, Boruto, because a lot of these people, you'll still like them, you'll know them, but you really won't know them like that. However, what it's also pushing is the fact that Boruto and Sarada have something special, and their thing is going to last forever, in my opinion. At the very least, when we talk about the Boruto series, right? She even asked her mom Sakura about her relationship with Naruto, and Sakura kept it real, like, we weren't really cool when we were younger, but as we got older, we became pretty much family, and she straight up said, like, I don't view Naruto as a Hokage. He'll never be the Hokage in my eyes. He'll always be the #1 hyperactive knucklehead ninja, Naruto. I also wanted to note Mitsuki's entrance this week was absolutely creepy. They keep making this thing with Mitsuki that he gotta like randomly appear when everybody is just casually talking with each other and just make things really awkward. Though this time they really overdid it because they built up the episode like Boruto's depressed or something, right? And then here you have Mitsuki, literally they zoom in on his face "What's the matter, Boruto?" It's just weird, and Mitsuki's like following Boruto around. Anything that Boruto wants to do, Mitsuki just follows, right? If Boruto wants to try and get the Eternal Carp, Mitsuki now suddenly also wants to try and get the Eternal Carp. If Boruto decides to turn gay, Mitsuki will too. Although I think Mitsuki's probably already gay. He's probably asexual. He doesn't even think about none of this stuff. That being said, guys, this episode won't be for everybody, but by the end, I actually enjoyed it, and it was very colorful. I really liked the atmosphere. It was heartwarming, and who knows, like, how many more episodes we'll get of the entire class together, because, again, they are graduating, and we always look at these episodes differently because we're watching